What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful, delicious, smoky, amazing scratch-made gumbo. Coming up. These are some bones. What I got here is a bunch of stuff I just pulled out of my freezer. In the middle here, we got all the bones from the rotisserie chicken I made. Oh, we still got the string in there. This is from the buffalo chicken dip I made a couple weeks back. Tangle this out later. On this side, we got another carcass of a chicken I cooked on the Chud box at some point. Looks like I did not eat much of that breast meat. Looks like I'm a fan of the dark meat, but great for stock. And over here, I've got a bunch of wing tips from the chicken wing video I did last week. So for those of you that don't believe me when I say I keep all my wing tips and everything for making stock when the time rolls around, here is your proof, because that is exactly what we're doing right now. Because when it comes to adding a smoky element to any dish that involves a stock, I love to make my own, because not only is a homemade stock so much more rich and gelatinous than anything you're going to get at the store, but also all this stuff was cooked over direct heat on the Chud box or on the offset, so it's going to add some wonderful flavor, making our gumbo absolutely fantastic. So, simply enough, into the pot we go. Boop! And of course, if you didn't save all your bones from previous cooks, you could always go to the store, buy some chicken feet or some carcasses or some wings, smoke them off and add them to this, just to add some more flavor. Beautiful. But to add some more flavor to the stock, we're gonna go into some juicy celery stalks, 1 yellow onion, skins and all, this old shallot because it was going bad in my fridge, a good handful of some garlic, adios, as well as a couple bay leaves, and simply top it off with some water. And now we're just gonna let this bubble away at a nice gentle simmer overnight, leaving us with a beautiful, smoky, absolutely fantastic chicken stock. After a nice long overnight bubble, all we need to do now is strain out all the bones. Oh yeah, just going through our little strainer here, trying to get all the solids out. We're straining a stock, folks, you know how it goes. And just like that, we've got 2 quarts of absolutely beautiful, homemade, smoky chicken stock. This is some chicken. Pat it dry. And what I got here is a bunch of some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Nothing too fancy here. You could obviously do bone in, skin on if that's your style, but this is all going into a gumbo, so you'd have to be pulling bones out of there, so this is the easiest way to go about it. But first, we need to get these seasoned up. For our rub today, we're going on with some good old-fashioned Chud Rub, except we're gonna doctor it up a little bit to more mimic a Cajun style seasoning. So, in here I've got 1 cup of Chud Rub, to which we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of cayenne pepper, 1 tablespoon of ground thyme, tablespoon of celery salt, and 1 tablespoon of some dry oregano. And just get that all nice and mixed up. And there we go, a nice spicy Chud Rub. And simply enough, we're just gonna get these covered, starting on the back side, although it really doesn't matter because this is all gonna get shredded up at the end anyway, but good practice. Ooh, smells good. Flip them over, and just get all the sides covered. Folks, you know the drill. Just gonna get these all tossed up. Looking good to me. Let's fire up the pit. And on the pit we go, rocking this pit right around 300, 325. Just trying to get some good color, a little bit of that direct heat smoke flavor on them. And these will continue to cook once we throw them into the gumbo, so I'm definitely gonna try not to overcook them, but again, just trying to add another layer of flavor. Looking good. We'll check back in a little bit. Now, gumbo isn't gumbo without the roux. It's a very important part of the recipe. And we all know the traditional way to do it, where you get some oil or some butter and some flour and you cook it really low and slow for like an hour until it gets nice and dark and super flavorful. But today I'm gonna try something different that I saw on America's Test Kitchen, where they make a dry roux. Hi. And basically the concept is browned flour tastes great whether you do it dry like this or inside of a wet roux. So what they did is they popped it into a skillet into a 400-degree oven for about an hour until this looked like cinnamon. But of course, we're not gonna use the oven. We're gonna toss this on the smoker. So I got this pit fired up. It's about 350 right now, probably gonna get a little bit hotter. And simply enough, on we go. And we're gonna let this cook away until it's the color we like. And hopefully we pick up some smoke flavor while we're in there. And now it's time for Editor Brad's least favorite part, the chop sequence. Next up, into our little Dutch oven here, we're gonna saute off our veg real quick. Starting by going in with a nice healthy shot of some duck fat, because why not? And just let that get nice and toasty. And in we go. Got the classic trinity here of onion, bell pepper, and celery. And we're just gonna cook these down for a little bit till they're softened up. Not really trying to add any color to them, just make them a little more translucent. And after just a few minutes, these are looking absolutely beautiful. So now we can go ahead and add in our garlic. Add this at the end because garlic tends to burn pretty quickly, but we're gonna let this cook down for maybe about a minute or two. Just this alone is one of the best smells, I tell you. Next up, you're going with a splash of some beer, mostly because I want an excuse to crack a beer. Just deglaze this pot a little bit and add a little more flavor. And next up is our beautiful homemade chicken stock. As you can see, this stuff is super thick and gelatinous. And that's really the beauty of making your own chicken stock, is it's super thick, full of gelatin, which is gonna add so much body to this gumbo. Not to mention, it's made of smoked bones. Oh God, that was not appealing to watch. And we're just gonna bring this up to a simmer. Once it's nice and toasty, we're gonna throw in a couple of bay leaves, our freshly chopped thyme, and a shot of our spicy little Cajun chudrub. We can always add more later. Ooh yeah, smelling so good. And set this aside for a sec while we get our roux ready. And off the pit in about an hour, maybe 40 minutes. You can see that this flour has darkened up quite a bit, looking very nice. So into this pot we go, if I can get it in. Beautiful. Into that flour, we're gonna go in with some more of our chicken stock. This is some that I reduced down from about 2 quarts into about 2 cups. That's why it's a lot darker, really concentrate the flavor. And I warmed this up just so it wasn't gelatinous, but it's definitely not hot. It's probably room temp, but if I didn't do that, it would be a solid block of jello. So in we go. We're just gonna start whisking this as it goes in. And there we go. Tell me that doesn't look like a beautiful, nice, dark roux. I'm gonna continue to stir this till all the little lumps come out of it, and then we'll add it to the gumbo. Nothing to it. Oh yeah. And now we're just gonna bring this back up to a simmer. So now we're just gonna let this bubble away for a little bit, make sure that roux is cooked into this really nicely, and everything is just looking so good. And I know roux are typically half fat, half flour, and we just use flour and stock in ours, but you gotta remember there's a bunch of duck fat in here. Not to mention this stock that I made is super cloudy, which lets you know that there's a bunch of fat in the stock itself, plus the fat of the chicken and the andouille. I think we're gonna be just fine. But that's also why I added so much of that roux in there, because we don't want this thing to be too greasy. Speaking of which, andouille sausage. I made this in the last video, and as you can see, it is beautiful, nice and smoky. So all we need to do now is chop it up and throw it into the gumbo. You can do whatever size chunks you like. I'm thinking just some cute little coins ought to be good. Oh, look how chunky that is. Love it. If you haven't seen the andouille video, you definitely got to check it out. This is one of my favorite sausages I've ever made. But spoiler alert, it's studded with chunks of pork belly to add some more texture, which should go great in this gumbo. And of course, can't forget about our beautiful chicken. Pulled this off probably an hour ago. It cooked really quickly. And as you can see, we've got some beautiful color on there, registered around 165. And I'll likely not have to add all of this chicken, but you know, this is some spicy Chud Rub chicken thighs, you know. Don't mind having extra of this lying around. After about 30 minutes of letting this stuff bubble away, I did also add that other quart of chicken stock that I had just for some more volume so this doesn't over reduce. But this is looking absolutely beautiful. So in we go with our meats, including our andouille and our beautiful little direct heat spicy chicken thighs. Going in. These are great, by the way. I've been snacking on them for like an hour now. And how much meat you add is of course up to you. Probably about a pound of andouille and maybe 2 pounds of chicken, maybe 3 pounds of chicken. Might as well. Boop. So at this point, I'm just gonna let this cook away for a real long time. And how long you cook it is really up to you. In this case, I just wanna cook it until that chicken is cooked all the way through and nice and shreddy, and that andouille is cooked all the way through, and everything is warm, and all those flavors have kind of all gotten to know each other. And once the meat is done, this is ready to go. But I think the longer the better when it comes to gumbo. You know, last time I made this, I did it in a crock pot overnight, and it was absolutely fantastic. But for now, we're just gonna let this cook away for another couple hours, or at least until the lighting changes. So I'll see you in a little bit. And after bubbling away for a few hours, this gumbo is officially done. Nice, low, gentle heat. And as you can see, this is thickened up nicely. Beautiful color on there. All that chicken is just unbelievably shreddy. And you know, if shredded chicken is your vibe, then this is the way to do it. If you wanted more chunky chicken, maybe add the chicken a few hours in so it doesn't completely turn to mush, but I kind of like it that way. Mixes with the rice and the gravy really well. All the sausage has stayed nice and plump, and oh God, it's just smelling absolutely incredible. But while I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and pull out these bay leaves because no one wants to bite into one of those. Yoink. Always a good idea to remember how many of those you put in there. I think there's only 2 or 3, so we should be good, but this is looking nice and dark. Ooh. So I think it's time to plate up. Ooh, yeah. Make sure we get a bunch of chicken and of course a bunch of sausage in there. Ooh. Love it. Little extra gravy on there. Oh, why not? Beautiful. And of course, we're gonna top this off with a bunch of some sliced up green onions, just for some color, some freshness, and obviously some flavor. Beautiful. I mean, what's not to like about this, folks? We got some beautiful white rice, some fresh scallions, some smoky chicken broth, homemade, with some beautiful direct heat chicken thighs, as well as that homemade andouille. Oh, I gotta dive in. I gotta say, folks, I'm pretty excited about this one. I mean, what's not to like here? We got all the flavors, all the proteins. We got the rice, and everything is scratch made, and it's just looking so good. I mean, you tell me you don't want a bite of that on a nice cold winter day? Huh, yeah, right. Got a little sausage, got some green onions, and a little white rice on there. Let's see how this came out, shall we? You just can't beat a good gumbo, folks. It's so rich, it's so flavorful. Definitely got a good amount of smoke in there from the andouille and the chicken, plus the smoky stock. It's gonna mix this up a little bit, get that rice in there. And I love the fact that that chicken is just nice and pulled because it all just blends together for a perfect bite. Just the texture of the sauce itself is so rich. You know, that's the main difference between this gumbo and a lot of other gumbos out there, is that there's so much more gelatin in that sauce. It truly makes for an amazing mouthfeel. It's got that decadent quality, unctuous, if you will. And of course, we got that chicken and andouille in there. Honestly, flavor-wise, it's perfect, but I am going to throw a little hot sauce in there. Not so much for the heat, but just for a little bit of that brightness from that vinegar-based sauce. I think that's going to really help out. But as far as spices go, this is dialed in perfectly. That little spicy Cajun Chud Rub, I highly recommend making some of that. I'm definitely going to keep a bottle of that on hand because for recipes like this, it just comes in so handy. Now, I'm not from Louisiana. I'm not a gumbo expert, clearly, but I hear that this gumbo filet is the move. Little sassafras leaves. We're gonna give it a try. Ooh, that is nice. Yeah, I like that. Don't mind if I do. Very unique flavor on that, but it does add to the overall flavor profile. I tell you what. Ooh. I gotta tell you, when I was doing my gumbo research, you know, it just seemed like a pretty basic chicken and sausage stew over rice, or sometimes with some potato salad in there or whatever you like. But when it really all comes together, it is a class of its own. You know, that roux cooking into the broth just creates something magical. And yeah, I get it. I understand why everyone is so team gumbo. But this is absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend making this. And the fact that it's got a nice smoky element to it is amazing. It's definitely not overpowering. The smoked roux worked out very well. Highly recommend giving that a try. It's just that heartwarming depth of flavor. A little bit of spice. Unbelievable. So good. I'm telling you, next time I'm home for the holidays in those cold New Hampshire winters, I'm definitely making a big pot of this for my folks because it's just the ultimate cold weather meal. But without further ado, I think it's time for the official taste test. Let's get a little sausage link, shall we? That ought to do. Alright, y'all, that is it. That's how to make an absolutely fantastic smoky chicken and sausage gumbo. I highly recommend giving this recipe a try. And I know I went a little overboard making my own stock, making my own andouille, making my own spice rub, and all the things I did. And I don't expect anyone to do this recipe in its entirety, but I really just wanted to try and make the best gumbo I possibly could, and it really did turn out fantastic. I highly recommend it. And whether you take one tip from this video or all the tips, I highly recommend making it very soon. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I'd love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Patreon members. Thank you for supporting Team Chud and allowing me to keep making all these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace!